Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Speak English Daily, the podcast where we help you sound more natural, more confident, and more fluent in English every single day.
Hey everyone, I'm Jack, your co-host, and I am so pumped to be here with you today because we're talking about something that even advanced English learners mess up, and that's the difference between seems and looks.
I'm Emma, and yes, today's topic is one of my favorites. These two words look almost the same on the surface, pun intended, but they actually carry very different meanings depending on how you use them.
Exactly. And if you're someone who wants to speak English with confidence without pausing and second-guessing every sentence, then this episode is going to be gold for you.
Before we dive in, a quick reminder, if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the family. Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss an episode.
And if you're a returning listener, thank you so much. You're the reason we keep showing up every week. Now let's get into today's topic.
So, Jack, let's start with a very simple question. Have you ever looked at someone and said, "You look tired today," but then thought, wait, should I say you seem tired instead?
Oh, absolutely, all the time. And what's tricky is that both sentences sound correct to a beginner, but to a native speaker, they actually feel different.
That's the heart of what we're exploring today, the feeling behind the words. And by the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly which word to use and why.
Let's do this. Section 1. The basic meaning. What does seems mean?
Seems comes from the idea of impression or perception, especially based on feeling, behavior, or indirect information. All right, let's start with the word seems.
She seems happy. You're not necessarily seeing a smile. You might be picking up on subtle cues, the way she talks, the way she acts, the energy she gives off.
Exactly. Seems is more about what you sense, feel, or infer, not just what you directly see with your eyes.
He seems nervous before the presentation. That means I'm picking up on cues. Maybe he's pacing, sweating, fidgeting. I'm not just looking at his face.
Or how about the situation seems complicated? Here, seems tells us that based on the information available, the situation gives the impression of being complex.
Seems often goes with adjectives or the infinitive form of a verb. For example, she seems to be upset, or it seems that the train is late.
So, seems is often used when you're making a personal observation or deduction, when you're using your brain to process information, not just your eyes.
Think of it like this. Seems lives in your mind. It's the word you use when your brain is doing the work.
I love that. Seems equals your brain working. Write that down, everyone.
Section 2. The basic meaning. What does looks mean?
Looks, when followed by an adjective, refers to visual appearance, what you can actually see with your eyes.
She looks happy means I can see it. I see her smiling, her eyes are bright, her body language is open. I'm making a judgment based purely on visual information.
That's the key difference. Looks is connected to your eyes. It's about the external, physical appearance of something or someone.
That cake looks delicious. You can see it, the frosting, the color, the layers. Your eyes are doing the work.
He looks tired. You can literally see the bags under his eyes, the drooping eyelids, the slow movements. It's a visual observation.
Looks is often followed by an adjective or a noun. She looks like a doctor. It looks like a great idea. These are visual impressions.
So, seems is living in your mind, looks is living in your eyes.
Use looks for visual appearance. Use seems for impressions, feelings, or deductions. That's the first big rule.
Section 3. Examples in real conversation.
Let's practice with real conversation examples because the best way to learn is to hear how native speakers actually use these words in daily life.
She looks confident when she walks into the room. That's visual. You see her posture, the way she holds her head.
But then later, she seems very experienced. That's based on how she talks, how she handles problems, how she explains things.
Perfect. Same person, two different observations. One visual, one based on experience and behavior.
It looks like it's going to rain. Visual. You can see dark clouds gathering.
It seems like it's going to rain. You're inside, you hear thunder, you feel a pressure drop. You're making a deduction without directly seeing the sky.
Brilliant. The context and what information you have available really affects which word feels more natural.
That actor looks very young in this film. Visual. You can see his face.
That actor seems very dedicated to his craft. That's an impression based on his performances, interviews, stories you've heard.
This restaurant looks expensive. You walk in and see the chandeliers, white tablecloths, fancy menus.
This restaurant seems popular. Maybe you heard people talking about it, it has great reviews, it was hard to get a reservation. Okay, I think people are really getting it now. This is so useful. Section 4. Common mistakes English learners make.
Now let's talk about the mistakes, because understanding mistakes is one of the fastest ways to improve your English.
The most common mistake is using looks when seems is more appropriate, usually because learners translate directly from their native language.
He looks to be a kind person. A native speaker would say, he seems to be a kind person, because you can't really see kindness. You feel it. You observe it in behavior.
The dress seems beautiful, while not totally wrong. Most native speakers say the dress looks beautiful because they're talking about how it appears to the eye.
Right. When you're talking about physical appearance, clothes, food, places, people's looks is almost always more natural.
Seems is often followed by to be or like or that. It seems to be a good idea is more complete and natural than just it seems good.
Looks like is a very common and useful phrase. It looks like fun. It looks like she's in a hurry. Supernatural English.
Remember, if you're describing what your eyes see, go with looks. If you're describing a feeling, impression, or conclusion, go with seems.
Section 5. Seems like versus looks like. A closer look.
Seems like and looks like are used constantly in spoken English. Knowing the difference will instantly make you sound more natural.
Looks like is used when you're making a visual comparison or observation. That cloud looks like a rabbit. You see the shape and it resembles something.
You look like your mother. You can see the physical resemblance, the face, the eyes, the smile.
Seems like is used when you're making an inference. It seems like he's avoiding me. You're picking up on indirect cues. He doesn't reply, he walks away.
It seems like a good plan. You've thought about it and it gives the impression of being solid, not necessarily something you see.
Sometimes both can work, but with different meanings. It looks like a good day for a picnic. Visual, you see the sunshine and blue sky.
It seems like a good day for a picnic, more like a feeling or overall impression. Maybe the mood feels right, the weekend is free.
Subtle but real. Native speakers feel that difference even if they can't always explain it.
And that's what we want for you, to feel the language, not just memorize rules. Section 6. Formal versus informal. When to use which.
In formal writing or speech, business emails, academic papers, professional presentations, seems is much more commonly used.
The data seems to suggest a decline in sales. Very professional, thoughtful, evidence-based.
The theory seems consistent with the experimental results. very measured and careful language.
The data looks to suggest a decline in sales, sounds a bit informal or awkward in that professional context.
In everyday informal conversation, both words are common, but looks tends to feel more casual and immediate. It's about what's right in front of you.
Wow, you look amazing tonight. Spontaneous visual reaction at a party.
It seems promising, but let me think about it more. More reflective and considered response to a business idea.
For formal contexts, lean towards seems. For immediate visual reactions, looks is your friend.
Section 7. Grammar Deep Dive. Let's go deeper into grammar. We're keeping it simple and practical, as always.
Both seems and looks can be followed by adjectives. She looks happy, she seems happy. Both are correct and both are grammatically correct.
Seems can be followed by to plus verb. For example, he seems to enjoy his job, or she seems to know the answer.
He looks to enjoy his job sounds very unnatural. With looks, you'd say he looks like he enjoys his job.
Seems to verb is a very natural and important English structure. The project seems to be going well. They seem to understand the problem. It seems to have worked.
It seems that sentence is another great structure. It seems that everyone enjoyed the party. Or, it seems that the plan has changed.
You can't substitute looks here. It looks that everyone enjoyed the party. That's not natural English.
For looks, the equivalent is it looks like everyone enjoyed the party. How natural does that sound?
Does it seem right to you? Asks for your overall gut feeling or opinion. Does it look right to you? Is more visual, like checking if a design looks correct.
All of these patterns are things you'll start to hear and feel once you're aware of them.
Section 8. British English versus American English. Any difference?
Is there a difference between how British English speakers and American English speakers use seems and looks?
Honestly, both dialects use these words in very similar ways. The core rules we've been discussing apply to both.
British English tends to use seems a bit more in polite, hedged statements, which fits with the British preference for being indirect and modest.
It seems we've had a bit of a misunderstanding. Very soft, non-confrontational, very British.
It looks like there was some confusion. An American speaker might say this, also polite but slightly more direct.
Both are correct. Both are natural. It's just a matter of style and cultural preference.
It would seem that the meeting has been postponed. That's very proper British English used as a formal and polite phrase.
So no matter which variety of English you're learning, the rules are essentially the same. Beautiful.
Section 9. Practice exercises. Let's test yourself.
All right, it's practice time. We're going to give you some sentences and you choose seems or looks. Ready?
I'll give the sentences and you, yes, you listening right now, pause the video and think about your answer before we tell you. Number 1. That pizza blank, absolutely delicious.
Looks. That pizza looks absolutely delicious. You can see it, so we use looks.
Number 2. She blank to be really good at math.
Seems. She seems to be really good at math. You're making a deduction based on observations.
Number 3. It blank like it's going to be a long day.
Seems is slightly more natural here because it's a general feeling rather than a specific visual cue. It seems like it's going to be a long day.
Number 4. He blank nervous right before the job interview.
Looks, if you can see physical signs, shaking hands, pale face. Seems if it's more of an overall impression from his behavior. Both can work.
Number 5. This old building blank like it was built in the 1800s.
Looks. You can see the architecture, the style, the design. This old building looks like it was built in the 1800s.
How did you do? Don't worry if you missed some. The more you practice, the more natural these choices will feel.
And remember, sometimes both words can work. English is a living language, and context is everything.
Section 10. Bonus tips. Sound like a native speaker.
Let's give you some bonus tips, things that will really elevate your English and make you sound like a native speaker.
Seems when you want to be polite or avoid being too direct. It seems like there might be a problem is softer than there is a problem. Very useful in professional settings.
Looks to give compliments about appearance. You look wonderful today. That dress looks stunning on you. Immediate, warm, visual compliments.
Seems is your go-to word for uncertainty. It seems like the best option, shows you thought about it, but you're open to being wrong. Humble and intelligent.
Looked, past tense of seems, is great for vivid visual descriptions in storytelling. The old house looked abandoned and dark, creates a strong image.
Seemed, past tense of seems, is great for emotional or psychological observations. She seemed lost in her own thoughts. Very literary and expressive.
Don't be afraid to use both in the same conversation. She looks confident, but she seems nervous underneath. Sophisticated, nuanced English.
Pay attention to native speakers in movies, shows, podcasts. Notice which word they choose and in what context. Your ear will become trained over time.
And our favorite tip, make mistakes. Use these words, try them out, and correct yourself when needed. That's how fluency happens.
Section 10. Real-life dialogues. Watch how they flow.
Let's do some mini dialogues, real-life style, to show you how naturally these words flow in actual conversation.
Dialogue 1. Two friends meeting at a cafe.
Wow, you look great. Have you been working out?
Ha! Thanks. I've been trying. I feel like I still have a long way to go, though.
No, seriously. You seem so much more energetic than the last time I saw you.
That means a lot. I've been trying to sleep better and eat healthier. It seems to be making a difference.
You look great. Visual compliment. You seem more energetic. Impression based on behavior and energy. Both so natural.
Dialogue 2. A manager and employee at work.
I've been reviewing your report. This data seems a bit off. Can you double-check the numbers?
Of course. I thought it looked fine when I submitted it, but I'll review it again.
Thanks. Also, the formatting seems inconsistent in the second section. Can you clean that up?
Absolutely. I'll make sure it looks professional before I resubmit.
The data seems a bit off. Impression based on analysis. It looked fine to me. Visual check. It looks professional. Visual standard. Beautiful.
Dialogue 3. Two students discussing a classmate.
Did you see Alex today? He looks exhausted.
Yeah, he seems like he's been pulling all-nighters for the exam.
I hope he's okay. He seems stressed lately.
I know. Maybe we should check in on him. He looks like he could use some support.
He looks exhausted. You can see it. He seems stressed. An overall impression, both in one natural conversation.
Section 12. Why this matters for English fluency.
Let's zoom out and talk about why mastering words like seems and looks is such an important step in your English journey.
English fluency isn't just about knowing big vocabulary words or complicated grammar rules. It's about the small, everyday choices you make.
These micro choices are what separate someone who speaks English from someone who sounds like a natural English speaker.
When you use the right word in the right context, without thinking, without hesitating, that's fluency. That's confidence.
Episodes like this one, where we break down one small but important distinction, are exactly how you build that kind of fluency.
Don't underestimate the power of small improvements. Every word you master, every pattern you internalize, it all adds up.
And we're here with you every step of the way. That's what Speak English Daily is all about.
We love what we do, and we love helping people like you unlock your English potential. Thank you for being here. Section 13. Quick recap. Everything you need to remember.
Let's do a quick recap of everything we covered today, because repetition is the key to retention.
Rule 1. Use looks when you're describing what you see with your eyes. Visual appearance, physical observation.
Use seems when you're making an impression, deduction, or inference based on feeling, behavior, or evidence.
Looks like is great for visual comparisons. Seems like is great for impressions and feelings.
In formal contexts, seems is more professional. In casual conversations, both are common.
Seems to plus verb is a very natural and important grammar structure. She seems to understand. It seems to be working.
It seems that plus sentence is another great formal and sophisticated structure.
Sometimes both words work, but they carry slightly different nuances. Pay attention to context.
Practice. Listen to native speakers. Try using both words in your daily English. Make mistakes. Grow.
Don't be afraid to use both in the same conversation. She looks confident, but she seems nervous underneath. Sophisticated, nuanced English. Pay attention to native speakers in movies, shows, podcasts. Notice which word they choose and in what context. Your ear will become trained over time.
And our favorite tip, make mistakes. Use these words, try them out, and correct yourself when needed. That's how fluency happens.
Section 14. Deep Dive. Emotional intelligence in word choice.
Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough, the emotional intelligence behind choosing the right word. When you use seems versus looks, you're actually signaling how you're processing information.
That's such an important insight, Emma. Think about it. When you say you seem upset, you're showing that you're paying attention to someone's feelings and internal world. That's empathetic language.
Whereas you look upset is more observational. You're describing what you see on the outside. Both can be caring, but seems adds a layer of depth and understanding.
Absolutely. And in professional conversations, using seems shows that you're thoughtful and evidence-based. The market seems to be shifting shows analysis. The market looks different is just a surface observation.
So choosing the right word isn't just about grammar. It's about the image you project and the connection you create with other people.
That's why we say English is not just about rules. It's about relationships, communication, and emotional connection. And seems and looks are tiny windows into that bigger picture.
Beautifully said. I genuinely love when we go to this level with our listeners.
Section 15. Writing versus speaking. Does the choice change?
Let's talk about something very practical. Does the choice between seems and looks change depending on whether you're writing or speaking?
Great question. In writing, especially formal writing like essays, reports, or business emails, you have more time to think about your word choice. So seems tends to dominate because it signals careful thought and engagement.
For example, in a business proposal, you might write, "This approach seems to be the most cost-effective solution based on our analysis." Very measured, professional, and thoughtful.
But in speaking, especially casual conversation, both words flow naturally and quickly. You don't overthink it. You say it looks good or it seems fine and move on.
The interesting thing is that in writing, looks can sometimes sound too casual or informal. The results looks promising in a formal report might get a strange reaction from your reader.
Whereas the results seem promising reads as more professional and polished. It's the same information, but the word choice changes the register entirely.
For creative writing, novels, short stories, poetry, both words are wonderful tools. He looked defeated, paints a visual picture. He seemed defeated, gives an emotional impression.
And great writers use both strategically to create layers of meaning. If you ever want to improve your writing, start paying attention to when authors choose seemed versus looked and why.
That's such a beautiful homework assignment. Read a novel, any novel, and highlight every seemed and looked you find. You'll start to see patterns immediately.
Such a fantastic tip. Your English will grow in ways you never expected. Section 16. Social Media English. Seems versus looks online.
Let's have some fun and talk about how seems and looks show up in social media and online communication, because that's where so much English is happening today.
Oh, this is going to be great. So on Instagram and TikTok, you'll constantly see comments like, "This looks so good," or "That looks amazing." People are reacting to visuals, photos, videos, food posts.
Exactly. Instagram is almost entirely a visual platform, so looks dominates. This meal looks incredible. Your outfit looks fire. That sunset looks unreal.
But on Twitter or LinkedIn, where people discuss ideas, analysis, and opinions, you'll see more seems. This policy seems flawed. The data seems to support a different conclusion. He seems to be changing his position.
That's such a sharp observation. The platform itself influences which word feels more natural because the platform shapes what kind of content people engage with.
And in comments and replies, it seems like is very common as a polite way to disagree or question something. It seems like you might have missed this point. Much softer than just saying, "You're wrong."
Super useful for online communication. Being polite online, especially when disagreeing, is a real skill, and Seems helps you do that beautifully.
Also in captions, you'll see, "Life looks different when you change your perspective." Visual metaphor. Versus, "It seems the world is changing faster than ever." Reflective observation.
Now you'll never scroll through social media the same way again. You'll be analyzing seams and looks everywhere.
Language learning hack. Use the content you already consume to learn. Social media, Netflix, YouTube, it's all language input. Section 17. Advanced usage. Nuance for proficient learners.
Now let's push the level up a bit for our more advanced listeners. We're going to explore some subtle, nuanced uses of seams and looks that you won't find in a basic grammar book.
First up, seems in philosophical and abstract language. When you're talking about ideas, theories, or abstract concepts, seems is almost always the right choice.
The concept of time seems relative in this context. You can't look at an abstract concept, so seems makes perfect sense. It signals careful intellectual engagement.
Another advanced use, seemed, to express dramatic irony or retrospective understanding. It seemed like a good idea at the time. That seemed tells us it wasn't actually a good idea. The past tense creates distance and irony.
Oh, that's beautiful. He seemed trustworthy, but he wasn't. She seemed happy on the outside, but she was hiding her pain. Seemed is used to signal that appearances were deceiving.
And then there's looks used for dramatic visual description. He looks like he's seen a ghost. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. These are vivid, expressive comparisons.
Both words also appear in idioms. Things aren't always what they seem, a warning about deceptive appearances. Looks can be deceiving, same message, different word.
Fascinating that English has both expressions. Things aren't always what they seem uses seem because it's about deeper reality beneath the surface. Looks can be deceiving uses looks because it's specifically about visual first impressions.
This is the kind of layered understanding that marks a truly advanced English speaker. You're not just memorizing rules, you're understanding the philosophy behind the language.
And honestly, that's what we love most about doing this podcast. Going deep, making you think, making you feel the language.
Section 18, Your Daily English Challenge.
Before we wrap up, we want to give you a daily challenge, something practical you can do starting today to really internalize what you've learned.
Challenge 1. For the next 7 days, every morning when you look in the mirror, describe yourself using both words. I look tired today, but I seem determined. Get comfortable switching between them.
Challenge 2. When you watch any English content today, a movie, a show, a YouTube video, try to catch every time someone says seems or looks. Try to catch it and notice why they chose that word.
Challenge 3. Write 3 sentences using seems and 3 sentences using looks about your day. Share them in the comments and we'll give you personalized feedback.
Challenge 4. Try to use one of these words in every English conversation you have this week. and notice how people respond. Do they understand you? Do they correct you? Either way, you're learning.
Challenge 5. Record yourself. Yes, literally take out your phone and record yourself using seems and looks in a short monologue. Describe your room, your day, your feelings. Then play it back and listen.
Hearing yourself speak is one of the most powerful things you can do for your English. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's transformative.
And remember, progress in English is not always visible day to day, but if you look back at where you started, it seems like you've come such a long way.
See what we did there? Look back, visual, retrospective. It seems like you've come such a long way. Impression and feeling. Even in our goodbye, we use both naturally.
English is everywhere. Once you start noticing it, you can't stop, and that's a beautiful thing.
Section 19. Let's celebrate your English progress.
We want to take a moment right now, before the final goodbye, to celebrate you. Yes, you. The fact that you are here, learning, growing, dedicating time to your English, that's incredible.
Learning a new language as an adult is genuinely one of the hardest and most rewarding things a person can do. It requires patience, consistency, and a whole lot of courage.
And every episode you listen to, every new word you learn, every time you try to use a new structure in conversation, that's a victory. Celebrate it.
We started this podcast because we believe that everyone deserves to speak English confidently, not just to survive, but to thrive, to express your ideas, your feelings, your personality in another language.
And today you learned something specific and powerful, the difference between seems and looks, two little words that carry so much meaning. You're going to use this knowledge for the rest of your English-speaking life.
That's the magic of this podcast. Small lessons, big impact, over time.
So keep going, keep showing up, keep speaking, and keep coming back to Speak English Daily, because we'll always be here waiting for you with the next lesson.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Speak English Daily. I hope you feel so much more confident about using seems and looks now.
We covered so much today: the basic meanings, real-life examples, common mistakes, formal versus informal use, grammar patterns, British versus American English, and so much more.
If you found this episode helpful, please give us a thumbs up. It helps us reach more English learners around the world.
Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We release new content every week.
Drop a comment below and tell us, which word do you find more confusing, seems or looks? Or use both in a sentence and we'll give you feedback.
We read every single comment, and we love connecting with our community. You all inspire us to keep creating this content.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep listening, and keep speaking English every single day.
Because that's the only way to get truly fluent: consistency, courage, and community. And you've got all three right here with us.
Take care, everyone.
Bye for now, and remember, English is not just a language, it's your superpower. Use it every day.